2015, the year that China issued the new 100 yuan note. Here's a quick history of China's 100 yuan banknote. 2005 series, which most people are familiar with, is slowly being phased out. As you know, 2005 had new features, engraved lines on the right side of the note, other transparencies and features that were not found prior to it. And we see here with the 2000 note that was first introduced in 1999, it had machine readable features on it so that modern equipment could count it. Before that, they really had to kind of count it by hand or use machines based on the number of notes and not actually reading any of the serial digits as it goes through the counter. We go back further than that. We see the 1980 edition had more nationalist or communist type of themes on it. The back of the notes always had a setting in China that is famous with nature. Historical is how I would call the 1980 series. Highly counterfeitable because it did not have a lot of the features that the modern notes do have, and so that problem raged for the better part of over a decade for counterfeiters. And then, of course, we go back further than that. We see more communist themes on the historical notes from China. 1960s 10 yuan note. It did have some features with the printing that were a little bit difficult to counterfeit, but overall, not difficult to counterfeit at all. And we go further back than that, we find that in 1957 we had notes that were very simplistic and easy to counterfeit, and they were. A lot of people did. 10 yuan back then was considered a lot of money to carry around in your pocket. So this note was similar to really what the 100 is today. And then we look at the new modern note of 2015. We know that the gold 100 is there, and there are several other features on here that have changed. I'll go over that more in a moment. And we go further back, we see in 1948 they had very much communist workers theme on the notes. They were smaller, they were easy to counterfeit, and not very durable. They didn't have the highest quality paper. We go further back here, we see that these notes varied. 1948 right there, the themes varied. There were different notes in a series. In 1948 again, here's another note that is 100, and it has a train on the back of it. We have notes also the 1948 that had different themes and colors on it. And that was when China was just trying to become an industrial power and really didn't have a lot of technology for anti-counterfeiting. And we look at different series here from 1948. As you can see, might be a little confusing initially for them to find out what is what, but still not too difficult to counterfeit. Did have a lot of brand recognition. But it was really for internal use only. And that is really kind of how we look at China's notes today, the 2015 edition being not just a note that they're going to use internally for anti-counterfeit measures, which they will do probably now every 10 years. They're on pace for every 10 years making a new issue. But it's really more about branding too, because as you know, as the yuan becomes more and more convertible, the brand of the note is important, just like the brand of US dollar. Having that kind of familiarity, having that kind of premium look and feel to it, so that the marketing aspect of it is well recognized, and that is another reason why they issue it, not just because of counterfeiting. As the yuan eventually becomes fully convertible, the RMB brand per se in China has to be something spectacular and has to be something that has that recognized quality to it. And the gold 100 also being speculated by many that that is a precursor to at least a partially backed gold yuan. I don't imagine there would be full convertibility on a partially or fully backed yuan, because if there was, every Tom, Dick, and Harry would be going to the teller window and getting their solid gold for their worthless notes. So looking at the 2005 series and the 2015 series of Chinese 100 Yuan banknotes, you'll see that there are subtle differences. The 2005 series, as I've reported before in one of my videos, has many security features that the public knows and doesn't know about. In fact, I've discovered that there is as many as 32 different security features on the 2005 series, including raised edges on the note. You've got a security strip through the almost center of the note there, and that metallic strip also can be detected, although we did the RFID or the chip test, microwave test on the old note several years ago, and it did not pop in the microwave. So on the old note, this replaced the 2000 series, and there were some subtle differences between that and the 2005 complete rollout. You'll see that on the 2005 you have the 100 there that is going to be more prevalent when you put it up to blue light, and also you'll see that there is a hologram image of Mao on the left side of the note, as well as with a black light you'll see a 100 in the upper portion above the actual 100 on the previous series note. In addition to that, all of the older series notes, they will line up on the edges when you attach it to another note. It will line up perfectly. You see there it's another 100 that if you bend it in the light you can see it. So all in all, there's about 32 different security features on the old note. Now 2 years ago they came out with this new 100 yuan note, and you'll notice right away that the differences have to do with the placement of the bendable strip there that changes color, and we're going to find out shortly here if it is in fact metallic or not. And other than that, you have the gold 100 in the middle, and the gold 100 in the middle has a watermark, but the watermark now is down here versus on top of the 100. If you use a black light, you'll see that very quickly. A lot of merchants use a black light to see that, to verify whether it's counterfeit or not. It still has a hologram of Mao on the left side and a hologram of the 100 in the lower left portion, although instead of having a bendable green 100 on the lower left portion, this does not. It has the hologram of 100, and then it also has this security feature here. And another thing you'll notice too right away is that there's an extra serial number on the new 100 note versus the previous series. So let's turn them over. You'll see, of course, there that like the previous series back in the 90s, they have put the serial number now on that edge corner and gone back to that feature. The difference is with the Hall of the People on the back of the note. There's more detail on the new 100 on the Hall of the People than there has been in the previous one. Now, like a lot of new issues of notes, they'll use the same basic template, but they'll change certain features about it. So for the new 100, the 100 again is painted gold in the center, and it turns green when the note is tilted. I don't know if you can see that green coming through there a little bit as you tilt it in the light. Also, the security line, the dark visible line that runs the width of the note over here, it turns green when tilted as well. The translucent Mao that appears in the white area is also, of course, visible in the light. We're going to find out here exactly what the new Chinese 100 yuan note does in a microwave. Will it pop? Are there any additional features or hidden metallic RFID in the note, or is it just carried over from the old note, and the test then from the 2005 series would not yield any new results? So the new 2015 series versus the 2005 series, let's pop it in a microwave and see what it does. Let's see what happens for the RFID. Let's see. Let's do dumplings. Well, nothing happened. Note's not even warm. No burning on the corners. So it appears that this strip here, if it's metallic, it's not enough to make it pop or dissolve in the microwave. So no RFID chip on the new 100, and the strip is actually not metallic.